when doing any kind of construction, you want to make sure you're always making the right cuts.
That is true. Measure twice, cut once.
We're going to tell you why that's so important here. Stay tuned. Welcome, everybody, to Your Little Castle Show. I get to meet, like we talk about this all the time, experts that kind of will blow your mind with regard to their knowledge and background. We have a gentleman in the studio, Tim Cutt, and it's Cutts, but it's Cutts for plural for Cutts Construction.
Right.
But 30 years you've been doing this now, coming up.
Almost 30, yeah. Doesn't seem that.
End of 2025, it'll be hitting on 30.
Yeah.
So we asked him to come in the studio and talk with us. You work out of California, Missouri,
depending on where you're from.
Where you live.
Yeah.
You're inside 270 or outside 270.
Right.
We make that joke. But either one is proper in the state of Missouri. It's still spelled with an O-U-R-I. But thanks for driving in here to see us. And we wanted to share with everybody a little about that background, where you came from, and now you got a beautiful daughter and a son.
Got 4 kids.
4 kids, and they're out helping him run while he's taking calls to get stuff done. And it's just cool to see how the family kind of pulls together.
Right. My oldest boy does work for me.
Okay.
So it's nice having him there every day. Couldn't ask for a better guy than that.
He does a good job.
He does a great job.
That's important. Pass that on to the family tradition there. But as we love to do, we'll give a shout out here to our sponsor, Carroll House Furniture, because you like nice things in your little castle. Everybody has a little castle, and maybe you'll have to have that castle rebuilt or reconstructed or fixed. You were talking about some of the jobs. The house, the walls were 2 inches out of plumb.
Yes.
Had to disconnect the roof and make it all work.
It's amazing what you run into in that field every day. And this is a new home, so.
Yeah, that's just, and we're not naming names, but periodically you have people that were rushing a little bit. And didn't take the time, but measure once, measure twice, cut once. If you look at the last name here, that is appropriate for what we're talking here. And it says on your website, over more than 25, you're coming up on that 30 in personal experience. Your business has been around since 1998.
Correct.
It's a pretty long time to last on this little planet, any kind of business.
Yes, it is.
And all the good work you got. So we're going to show off some of your work. We're going to talk about where you're getting some good response and some people giving you some accreditation and what goes on. But tell me what led you here, and how did you end up getting into construction? Did it have to do with your last name, or was it more of just where you were at?
No, it wasn't the last name. It was kind of where I was at in life at the time. I'd worked for a couple general contractors back in the 90s, and then people started calling me to have certain things done. A lot of it was minor things. Someone needed a roof put on, I'd go put the roof on, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And I did a lot of roofing back in the late 90s, early 2000s, put a lot of roofs on, a lot of shingle roofs, additions, and then eventually got bigger and bigger, and we're building entire homes now, and I love my job.
Well, how does that transfer from roofs? I guess because that's the biggest part of the house typically.
Right.
But then are you doing foundations? You're doing siding?
We've done some foundations. We built a house a few years back. We just poured, it's a 3-foot crawl space foundation. We don't do full foundations. We do some flat work, but generally we have other people.
You know who to talk to
yes.
to get that done.
Yes.
And what is your service area primarily?
It's mainly Jefferson City, Lake of the Ozarks area, Sedalia, that area over there, mid-Missouri.
Yeah, so anything out in mid-Missouri. We go to Columbia? That's not too far.
Yes. Well, I try to stay out of Columbia.
All right. A lot of college kids going on there.
Well, it's not that. It's a $10,000 deck up there might cost you $15,000 to $18,000. Really? Because the permits, the inspections take too long, homeowner gets irritated because you're taking long, and it's not really our fault. It's just the permitting process up there. It's too much of a hassle to mess with.
Okay, but lots of business to be had down at the Lake of the Ozarks.
Lake of the Ozarks, their permitting process is a lot easier, and their inspections are a lot faster, so things go a lot quicker down there. Franklin County, they have another deal over there. Inspectors are right on the money. They're within a day or two, they can get your inspections. Bigger cities, it might take up 2 weeks to get an inspection, and that really puts things behind. It messes your whole scheduling up. So we try to stay out of those areas.
I gotcha. Well, with your experience, you can speak to that in a very strong way. Your own business now, you said you've been doing, you started that in 98.
Yes.
And ever since then. But what has been the primary focus of the type of work that you do?
Mainly home remodels there for a long time. the remodeling aspect of it, it's very rewarding. Especially when you see the homeowner, just the finished product, the homeowner walks in, and it's just that look on their face. That's sometimes that's pay enough.
Right.
And it is. I mean, there's just to watch their face and what you've done, and just the pictures that I could take and show people, here's what I've done for these people, and anybody sitting there, they can sit in their living room and they can look around their house and think of different things that could be done to their home that would make it more relaxing for them. I would love new kitchen cabinets, or my bathroom shower is a little bit small and I want like a bigger shower, and all those things are really doable. A lot of people are, they're under the impression that a small project in my eyes is something huge to them, and it's really not. So my job is partly to calm down the homeowner and walk them through the entire process.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, you start talking about this, you easily get into a bathroom remodel, a kitchen remodel, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000.
Not that much.
But you can do it. And what on the lower end, or where?
On low end, 10 grand.
10 grand.
And that's decent stuff you can put in.
Okay.
Kitchen, 15 to 18,000
Yeah.
with decent cabinets and flooring.
Okay.
That's in my area. I'm not sure. The cost up here in the St. Louis area might be a little higher.
Right. Tell me, what are the biggest components? You talked about cabinets, but now I've heard stories about heated floors. I mean, what are the other amenities? Is there anything special, or what do you enjoy?
Oh, bathrooms. You got heated towel racks.
Heated towel racks.
Heated toilet seats.
Okay.
You can get pretty fancy with some of the things you can put in your home now. The heated floors, that was big a while back. It's not so much anymore. People still do those. And if they do the heated floors, because they're so expensive, they usually locate them just in the bathroom area.
You have to locate them in the, what do you mean?
The heated floors.
Oh, okay.
There's mainly, we'll
components
put them in the bathroom usually.
Yeah.
Instead of, years ago we put them in the whole house.
You have a whole house with
Yeah.
heated floors throughout the house.
Yeah.
Wow.
Radiant floor heating.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nice.
And so you say radiant. Are they running water through that?
Yeah,
or
they're
how?
running water through them.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So then there's got to be plumbing run.
Oh yeah, you got pipes all through the floor. Concrete slurry mix goes on top. You got, it's in your floor.
Okay.
It's nice. Around home, it's typically a wood stove with a wood boiler that heats the water.
Wow. Okay. You've done some high tech, some cool stuff. I guess this might be some of the stuff that's been out there for a while. We just don't talk about it.
Well, up in here in the city, I mean, your access to firewood's a little limited. It's everywhere down there.
Okay.
So you can order a cord of wood for $100, and you got half a winter.
Okay.
Every heat, so it's nice. I'd like to have that myself.
Oh,
It's a little expensive.
Sure. Tell me, what's your passion towards all this? You love doing this, or you talked about just getting the expression, the response when you finish a job for somebody. What helps you wake up every day? Why do you do this?
Just the work itself. It is hard work. You're out there in 100-degree heat, and you're on a black metal roof trying to put that thing on, and it's 140 degrees up there. But
Right.
when you don't feel like going no more, you get off the roof and you find something else to do. You go to the house. I mean, nothing is worth dying for, But it's very rewarding, And you're home at the end of the day and you're tired and you feel better. You feel good about what you've done that day.
Yeah, so when you're actually constructing a real physical building that
Right.
people are going to live in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the place for the kids, in the bedrooms, that's got to be. I mean, you do full houses.
Full houses. Yes.
Anything you need done construction wise, you can come out there and put it together. Gutters, soffit, fascia, windows, doors, cement, basketball hoop, you name it.
If you want it, I'll pay for it. If you want to pay for it, I'll put anything in,
Right.
But it's just very rewarding. I can't remember who said it. So if you love what you do for a living, you'll never work a day in your life.
Never work a day in your
and
life.
I haven't worked in almost 30 years.
He hasn't worked in 30 years.
30 years. I love it. It's just.
It's not considered work if you love it.
No, it's not. And then I don't know. It's just a transformation you can make. Years ago, when I started in construction, it was mainly sewer line we was building. We built sewer lines for entire subdivisions in Columbia, but they buried your work and you couldn't see it, and nobody cared that you can drive by it and say, "Ooh, I laid sewer lines for that subdivision." Well, nobody cares. But if you say, "Hey, I went by and I roofed that 200-year-old theater," oh wow, that's pretty neat.
Pretty cool.
But it's very rewarding.
What is your favorite kind of type of construction to do?
A new home builds.
Okay.
Start from scratch. And bathroom and kitchen remodels are fun too. They're a lot of fun.
Okay.
Just on the stuff you can put in them,
Right.
But the downside about the remodeling, especially in the kitchen and bathrooms. Depending on how old the house is, you might be the 5th or 100th contractor in there, and you don't know what they did before you got there.
You start to pull things apart and going, wait a minute, we got an
Right,
extra
and
room.
a lot of times we try to build that in our estimates, but there's no way. You start ripping walls out and you see water problems or, saturated insulation, or your cabinets are rotted on the bottom. Chances are your subfloor is rotted. Some of that stuff you don't see, and when you approach a homeowner with it, that's the worst part about the industry. It's like, this is what we found. This is probably what's going to cost to fix this, and it's heartbreaking to have to tell people that. And I try to mitigate some of that myself. You try to absorb as much as you can to get the project done, but sometimes you just can't.
Well, is that part of the biggest part of your job is building that expectation? Here's what we can do, and we're going to handle it within budget.
Right.
How often do you have to adjust that budget?
Probably not as often as I should.
Okay.
Honestly, things happen. It's nobody's fault, and things are found. It's nobody's fault, and we'll get taking care of it. Just should. Typical job, I won't take long. 10-15 minutes will be done. Well, in the whole job, 10-15 minutes turns into a whole day. And you're like, well, I can't really charge them for that now.
All right.
But it's worth it in the end.
Well, yes, it sounds like you're just all about getting the job done. Do you think that's contributed to your success? 27 years in business,
Maybe,
30 years in the industry.
That sure didn't hurt it.
Right.
Well,
I mean, ultimately, people are just looking for a job to get done. It sounds like you're just saying, hey, I guess seeing that philosophy and using it a little bit myself, it works because ultimately we're all interested in the final result,
right?
Rather than somebody screwing around going, I need more money for this, and we didn't tell you about that. And by the way, we got some extra things here, and would you like to do this?
Yeah, there's a lot of horror stories on different contractors out there that you hear that about, and they're everywhere. I mean, that's fleecing the homeowner, and I hate to see that happen. I've come in on a lot of projects where that's happened to these people, and you feel bad for charging them for what you have to do, not only to finish the project, but finish what the prior person did, and it's rough. It's a bad deal, but we try to take care of it the best we can.
That leads to what we're talking about a little bit earlier, and we went and did a little research about you, but I'm going to put this up on the wall for everybody. But you have the A+ from the BBB.
Yep.
That's something that doesn't come easily. You got to be a little bit connected to earn that.
It goes on years of service and how long you've been around. So,
well, tell me a little bit about that, why that's been important to you.
I've gotten quite a few leads off of that website. People will go on the BBB website, need something done. They'll type in the search bar what they need done, and a list of contractors comes up, and they can either get a hold of all of them or a few of them to get a price, and it's whatever the homeowner's comfortable with, and that's just another avenue that the homeowner has to a little protection.
Yeah, I would say that most people do attribute. They like to talk about the fact that they've got their BBB rating, they've got that A+, and you talked about that, and you had to figure out how to get that all formulated and signed up and put into place. But you had to earn that to maintain it, though. I mean, it may not be so hard once you get there because they kind of start everybody off pretty well until they have complaints. But you've kept from having it in 27 years.
Well, I joined the BBB in 2007, and then it kind of dropped off there. I just never really maintained that relationship with the BBB, and then a few years ago I started it back up again, and they gave my A rating back. So
there you go. Well, it must be you earned it. Like I said, and they looked at your history and said, "Hey, come on back in here right away, and we'll take care of you." Well, we're going to show a lot more of what's going on. And Tim's going to share with us a lot more about his background here as we get into the second half of this show. We're going to do another half hour after that, where we get into all the nitty gritty about what you should know. And I mean, it's just great having business owners, construction experts share their trade secrets, if you will, about how to be successful, how to make these things work. And one of them you gave me there that was really good, though. Just sometimes you got to suck up a little bit of that cost and take care of them. And you said more often than not, that's what you're doing.
Right.
But it's paid off for you.
It has.
And in doing
and it's not just paid off, financially, but it's rewarding for the homeowner. So these people, this is the largest investment they've got.
Right.
And they want to love where they live, and that's part of our website, helping you love where you live.
Integrity and reputation will take you a long way.
It will.
All right, everybody, stay tuned for more. We got a little bit of fun we did in the community here. I want to share with you a little bit of our excitement. Check it out. All right, everybody, I've got Jackson now. I hired as my highly priced videographer. We didn't say highly paid, we said highly priced. Come on up here, Jackson. So, this is your dad, right?
Yes, sir.
Kevin. A couple things I noticed about Kevin. Awesome jersey he's got on there, right? Another thing really cool. Veteran, everybody. Air Force. And the Army. Served in both. protecting us, keeping us safe,
Absolutely.
helping us maintain this little thing we like called freedom, where we can go to Cardinal games whenever we want
Whenever you want, walk downtown and have a good time and be safe.
Tell me what you love about when you served in the military, real quick. I'm going to ask you what you love about the Cardinals. Come on up here a little bit, though.
I actually work on military bases pretty much on a weekly basis, and so I love going to the military base and make sure that I do telecommunications. So I want to make sure that we provide the communications that's going to help them perform and do the things they need to do.
That's important.
That's what I want.
That's what I went for grad school thing for. communications. If you can't communicate, nothing else matters.
I agree, 100%.
Thank you for your service there. What do you love about the Cardinals?
What do I love about the Cardinals? Well, they're the best team in the country. You know, they got more fans. It's the greatest thing to come see. I don't care. I've been to New York.
And
his name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
so after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey everybody, Cardinal Cowboy here. I want to invite all of you to be part of my new team. No, you don't have to put on a baseball uniform and be a super fan. Now, it would be a good idea to cheer for the Cardinals, the greatest team in the history of the National League. But I'm talking about the Gold Cowboy team. You know, I love to help people follow their dreams and reach their goals in business and in life. So that's one of the reasons why I'm telling you about my friends at My Metal Pro. They help people like you and I acquire gold and silver with a membership that lets you safely buy, sell, and store gold and silver. They make it real easy to get started. My Metal Pro isn't like the big guys you see on network TV or the big coin shops that take a huge commission. So become part of my Gold Cowboy team. Scan the QR code or go to goldcowboy.com and check it out. Giddy up.
Gold Cowboy.
Well, there it is. So you heard it here first. Gold Cowboy, goldcowboy.com. We do get to enjoy a little bit of the fun with the sponsors we got here. But if we highlight businesses, talk about putting them in the big leagues, but go to bigleagues.com if you know anybody. But go to goldcowboy.com, find out about gold. That's where we put on the cowboy hat. But man, I learned a little bit about gold. I'm like, holy cow, it's outperformed the S&P.
Yeah.
And most of your investment guys, and then your investment guys won't even tell you about gold because they got no incentive to. So check that out if you want to learn more there. Along the lines of money, let's do a little cost analysis here. How often is it that people, do they understand the value you're bringing to them? Because generally, when you're doing work for somebody, the value of their house is going to go up.
I think they fully understand that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
You know?
Tell me why that works so well for you and what that helps business
If
owners.
someone's going to look at a roof, a complete new roof, their chances of getting any money back out of that in equity pretty slim. Your money, if you do remodel, your money's going to come to kitchen and bathroom remodels. That's when your value goes up on your home, and it could be anywhere from 15 to 30%. you're adding value to your square footage. So those are important remodels. Curb appeal, that's another one. Landscaping, we don't do a whole lot of landscaping, if any, but that's another aspect these homeowners can up their property value.
Yeah. Well, it makes it. You've seen the value of houses now. My house I bought is now worth double what I paid for
Right. Well, you got to fix the grass out front.
We have some dead spots in our grass. Maybe I'd cut some damage. I bought my own robot lawnmower. Yeah, and we see a couple of dirt spots out there we got, but yeah, the overall value of the house just keeps appreciating, and if you want to bump that up even more, get that kitchen or get that bathroom. Why do you think those are the most valuable
Those are the two areas that people spend most of their time in.
Okay. And don't spend too much time in the bathroom, I would say, but you're
You'll
gonna.
spend, you'll spend quite a few time. You get a shower. You want a nice shower.
Yeah.
You don't want an old 50-year-old fiberglass tub.
Right.
You want a nice walk-in shower, and they're not expensive as people think they are.
Tell me, what does it cost to put a shower in these days for a nice?
A nice 3-foot by 4-foot shower. You can buy the whole package and I can put it in for $8,000.
Okay.
We use what's the name of that stuff? Onyx.
Onyx.
It's a poured product. It's impervious. It's beautiful stuff.
Does it look like marble or?
Looks like granite. You can get it to look like marble.
Okay.
There's all kinds of patterns you can get with it. You can mix and match colors if you like. There's about 40 colors you can pick from. That's just on the Onyx. I mean, there's hundreds of options out there as far as showers and things like that.
Where do you advocate people get their stuff from? You buy the materials for them, I guess?
We usually purchase them for the homeowner. A lot of people will go to a box store to get their things, and we try to. Well, I don't go there very often.
You got your own suppliers?
Yeah, we have our own suppliers: kitchen and bath suppliers, lumber suppliers, hardware stores, plumbing suppliers, supply houses. But those big box stores, you're going in there, and it's for us, it's more of a pain to deal with the big box stores than it is the local people we deal with.
Yeah, so you've got the relationships built already for the people you work with. You
Right.
get better product, better service.
Well, if I'm short on something, or hey, I got a wall panel that's busted, I get one right on the way. But dealing with somebody like a big box store, it might be weeks before you see it, and your whole project stopped. So having that relationship with these smaller guys,
Okay.
that's where the time frames come in at, and they know you're under a time crunch trying to get these things done, and they work for you. They care about that, and it's an invaluable asset.
That's how you do it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the strategy that's used, but put in behind the scenes. As a consumer, we're just going, I just want it done, right?
Right.
But yeah, I get smart, and we talk about all the time, the do-it-yourselfer, and they're going
Right.
to go up there and buy it themselves. But you're right, they get a one-off piece, or they got 3 of them, and 2 of them are sold out.
Right.
Yours breaks, you got a crack in your marble. Now you got to go wait.
Or it's been discontinued, or whatever it may be, and it's not replaceable.
Oh wow.
So those are the biggest issues, and it's a convenience thing for me not to go to those stores. For someone else, it might be a convenience. They can go in there. Now, some things we do have to get from those box stores that I can't get anywhere else, but it's very seldom that I have to go in one of those.
Do you think it's the relationship you have with the places, the people you buy from?
It's a loyalty thing for me.
Loyalty, okay.
These guys are taking care of me, and I want to take care of them. And it's another thing. The homeowner doesn't have to worry about anything. I bring the homeowner some samples. They pick up what they want. I project manage the whole thing, and they don't have to sit back. They don't have to worry about anything. I've got it all taken care of.
That makes it a little easier, peace of mind for the average consumer.
Peace of mind, yes.
Yeah. Well, somebody make note of here again. Write this one down. 30 years doing this, 27 years in business for himself, coming up on 28.
Yeah.
That's got to make somebody feel comfortable right there.
I would hope so.
Because I've been through this a little bit, and I've helped my mom recently. Dad went to heaven, and pretty sure he's in heaven. And we had somebody come in, and we get done with the whole thing. By the time they're done, they're like, "Oh, by the way, we don't do the painting." So I'm not gonna name who they were, but they don't paint the finish on the bathrooms. I'm like, well, that's one of the last. It doesn't look like it's finished.
All right.
And so, but you go through that, and then who paints it, and one of the extra little things. And then you look at the pricing. I'm like, I don't know if she got a good deal or not. But when you deal with a smaller local business like yourself,
Painting is an incidental. That's just part of the project.
well, that's what I thought. But
Yeah.
anyway, they finally 2 months later, my sister came over and helped paint it. But these are things that you just take for granted. You're going to get these done
Right.
and make sure the whole project is taken care of.
Right.
And the price is going to be good, fair, and
As fair as I can make it.
And the warranty, you're
5-year
going to cover
warranty.
your work.
Any kind of like a new home construction, it's a 5-year structural warranty. And it's typically on the mechanical ends of it, the plumbing, heating, and cooling. Electrical, it's usually a 5-year warranty from them as well.
Okay. Yeah, because you get electric involved now, and you're obviously then talking about plumbing.
Right.
Both of those. And do you do those all yourself too?
No.
But you've got relationship with the experts
Right.
to do that.
Yes, I do.
And you bring in the right people that you've worked with again for a long time, so you know it's going to get
Oh,
done.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that adds up to this kind of question might already be answered, but why should somebody choose you? It sounds like not just because your experience, but mostly a lot to do with the fact that you've got the relationships, you've got the suppliers, you've got the history with building and designing things like
Right.
this. Do you design these things many times?
No, we have an architect that I work with. That,
Okay, so you got somebody to do it
the
too.
person go in there and they can tell the guy what they want, and he'll draw it out for them. And
Oh, really?
he's very, very reasonably priced, and he does
Okay.
great work. We built a lot of homes off his drawings, and it's another relationship, and those are the people to have. You got those contacts you have is worth money,
Right.
but you can't charge for that.
Yeah, I didn't think that most people. They just said we need a bathroom. Here's the bathroom, but you
Right.
have a designer that actually comes in and helps
Right.
piece that together and design specific to their design for their house.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of extra you get here that you don't realize when you're talking to the pros like this. Tell me then, what is the biggest mistake that the average homeowner makes when they're making the decision to buy something like this, to do this kind of work?
I'd say the biggest mistake would be impulse.
Okay.
They'll go with the first bid they get. Don't ever do that. Get 3, 4, get however many bids you're comfortable with, and don't always pick the cheapest one.
Yeah.
We've been cheaper on a lot of items, but some items were not, and there's a reason for that. When you do get estimates, make sure you're comparing apples to apples. Make sure every contractor is bidding the same exact work. That's about it. It's pretty cut and dry for the homeowner. It's make sure they're bidding the same thing. If I come in there and I'm bidding, a bathroom, and I'm bidding a $4,000 shower unit, and my competitor's bidding a $2,000 shower unit, you're not apples to apples. So just make sure you're looking at the
Right.
same exact products, and just don't do an impulse. Don't hire the first guy that shows up at your door with a sign on his truck.
Yeah, so a lot of people, they want to get it done. They're just interested in somebody give them a quote, and they don't even
Right.
think about it. And it's more important to figure out, are they using the same materials? Are you
Right.
comparing apples to apples? Because if you're getting
Well, and if they do decide to go forward with a contractor, you got to let them know as soon as you can so they can get you on a schedule. Because not every contractor, if you find a contractor that's not doing anything, there's probably a reason. So you have to get on their schedule, and that may take a month or two to get to it. So a little foresight on the homeowner's end. Hey, I'm gonna need this done by Christmas. I need to start getting hold of somebody now. So, or Thanksgiving is coming up. You want your whole kitchen done. Thanksgiving's coming up. You better get hold of somebody now. Or maybe a few weeks ago.
But be wary of another note there. Be wary of the contractor who doesn't have anybody on their schedule.
Yeah.
There's probably a reason for that,
Right.
and some reason you may not want to use them. Look at their history. Look at their references.
Right.
Well, we just finished a half hour here. Hopefully, you learned a lot there from Tim. 30 years doing this. CuttsConstructionServices.com 573-353-5880. Stay tuned for more. We're going to pick his brain for another half hour here. Giddy up.